Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Timeless Movie Podcast. My name is Victor Vasquez. Appreciate you joining me on another movie discussion. This time a little bit different. We're close to the end of 2024. We just reviewed our top 10 movies of the year. If you have not checked it out, make sure to check out the episode that is on YouTube, Apple Podcast, and Spotify. It is going to be called the Top 10 of 2024 from the Timeless Movie Podcast. Make sure to check it out. I had my brother Omar Vasquez join me to talk a little bit about what were our favorite moments, our movies that just kind of gave us a complete and utter experience that just left us wanting more. We wanted to watch those movies over and over again, and we consider them timeless. So go ahead and check that one out. It was super fun to talk to my brother. And funny enough, this one isn't numbered either. So
what?
That's right. I'm not alone on this one. On this week's episode, we're going to be talking about the first ever Timeless Movie Awards. And I got my brother, Omar Vasquez, here with me. Omar, how's it going, man?
It's going good. I'm back.
Dude, you're on a roll.
3 in a row.
How does this feel?
It feels not right.
No, dude, it feels just right.
No,
you know
man. No.
Well, Omar, thank you so much, man, for joining me on this one. This was just like a random idea that I got one time when me and Omar were talking, having a conversation after we watched the movie, and we were saying like something that we really enjoyed, and then we were saying, you know what? You know, the awards these days, sometimes they don't give it to the right person. Sometimes they just focus on what's going to get the biggest headline, what's the biggest story. We don't want that here. And so we came up with the idea of let's give our own awards, but let's have it be, different every year. Maybe this year it was a big focus on a specific theme or something that just called out to us. Maybe in 2025 might be a little bit different, right? A lot of superhero movies coming up, a lot of different things that might be rolling out from the theaters overall. So again, in this podcast, we're going to be going through some Timeless Movie Awards. We're going to be giving awards to specific types of categories. And again, they're going to be very unique, very different, but hopefully it's a fun time talking through a little bit more about why we enjoyed 2024 overall for movies as well.
And there's no best picture. There's no
correct
best actor because we're not looking for that,
No.
This is timeless.
Exactly.
We're looking for something. If there's a best character, it's a timeless character. Which character do you want to see more of? That type of stuff.
Or let's say there's a scene that you really love, right? What's a scene that you would pull up on YouTube and just watch? Just like, hey, I want to watch this. I'll give you an example. Interrogation scene. Dark Knight.
Right.
I can watch that scene over and over and over again. I love it. Timeless.
Or Interstellar when the giant waves come.
Oh, man.
That's a scene I want to watch over and over again.
Love it. Well, guys, again, that's what we're going to be talking about today. Omar and I have our answers ready. But what's going to be fun about this one is that we're just going to go through and randomize what the categories are. There's a total of 11 awards that we're going to be giving away. We're going to send them the awards to the individuals that win it somehow. If they want to come on the podcast, even better if they want to do it as well. And we'll give them the award and present it to them. But that's kind of how we'll play it off. So, Omar, if you're ready, man, let's dive in.
Let's do it.
All right. So let's go ahead and select the first category. It's going to be random. I have a little, I don't know if anybody's going to be able to hear this, but I have a little bottle here with a couple of categories. I'll start things off, Mr. Rome, and let's jump into giving some categories and giving some, some praise to things that we really loved about 2024. So, Mr. Rome, I got the first one here. The first award that we're going to be giving away is going to be the Timeless Action Scene of 2024. So, just to kind of detail a little bit, what we're doing is we're going to give an award away to the best action sequence that we saw in 2024 from any movie. Doesn't even have to be from our top 10s. It can be from any specific movie that you really enjoyed over the year. So, Mr. Rome, kick us off.
One nominee is that Civil War scene where the journalists are following the soldiers into the building.
Yep.
And they're they have to stay directly behind them, and they're clearing out the building floor by floor.
Oh, yeah.
That's one of my favorite action scenes of the year. But the one I would give it to is the Monkey Man fight scene in the club.
Oh, yeah.
And especially the moment where he's fighting the guys in the elevator. And he does that cool. I don't know if you're going to talk about this too.
No.
But
that was one of the ones that I was considering.
He's fighting with a guy over a knife. And what he ends up doing is grabbing the knife with his hands are full. So he grabs a knife with his teeth and drives it into the guy's throat. I would have to nominate that scene.
Yeah, that's a great one, and I'm glad that you called that one out because like I was thinking about like okay, all the action scenes that we've seen, a couple of action movies as well, but that Monkey Man one was probably one of the most unique ones that like just creativity. Like I was like, okay, you've seen a lot of John Wick movies, you've seen a lot of different ones, but how can we top this a little bit more? And they were able to do it with that one. So good call out, man. Great award. Hopefully Dev Patel and the creators of Monkey Man, if they, again, if they want their award, come on board to the Timeless Movie Podcast.
Come on, guys.
All right, Mr. Rome, I'm going to wrap this one up for my award here. A couple of nominations that I wanted to call out is in regards to Marvel bias. Don't judge me.
Okay.
I love Marvel. I love superheroes, but seeing Wolverine and Deadpool fight was, to me, it was awesome. It was great to see him on screen, but I really enjoyed the one when they were fighting in the void. Like something about that, like I think the song was an AC/DC song like that, like how To Whom the Bell Tolls or something like that. I'm probably getting that all wrong, but I feel like I heard a song like that, like played as they were fighting. And that's kind of where you see Wolverine on all fours, crawling like that, facing off against Deadpool. And then
so
you see
the first time they fight.
The first time they fight. And then like there's like that slow motion where like Deadpool like reloads his guns or like his katana comes out and he catches it and then like, ooh, and like kills out as well. Another one from the same movie. Again, Marvel bias, but the one where he's doing NSYNC, Bye Bye Bye.
Yeah.
How that whole shot, like it follows him all the way around, just knocking all these guys out using the adamantium skeleton of Logan. So I was like, oh man, that was a cool one that I at least wanted to shout out. But my scene of timeless action sequence is actually going to go to Furiosa.
Ooh.
And it was the big rig scene that occurred in that movie. I was really hoping that this movie was going to be one that I enjoyed a lot more. It wasn't one that we talked about during our top 10, but I wanted to shine some light because that big rig scene, if you remember, Mr. Rome, it's like the first scene where I think Furiosa ends up meeting like more of the other, folks that she's going to be really working with in the rest of the movie. And, there's like a similar scene like this in the actual Mad Max Fury Road, but this one just felt like it was more jam-packed with different stuff. You had people flying in with like these big-ass fans.
Yeah.
You had people blowing up, getting trampled by the trucks. And I swear, I feel like the scene, I haven't seen the movie since we saw it in theaters, but I feel like the scene lasted like almost like 10 minutes, and it was just heart-pounding the whole time of like just so much action. And then when it finally ends, it at least lets you breathe a little bit like, oh man. So I got to give a shout out to that one by George Miller and the Furiosa Mad Max saga film. That was really good.
And watching it, I really got the vibes of maybe George Miller wanted to take that scene you're talking about in Mad Max Fury Road and just like make it cooler.
Yes. It just elevated, like it made it feel like, okay, this feels like Fury Road, and but just like with even more.
Yeah. And I love like the twists and turns in the scene. Like, I can't remember specifically, but I remember like Furiosa trying to reach for a gun, but then the driver saving her.
Yep. Like ended up helping her without even knowing who she was. And then like it just like, it was a whole long sequence, but
it was like subverting expectations and stuff.
And also it tells a story, which is awesome. No dialogue. You're just seeing action play out in front of you, but it's telling a story of like, why is this guy helping her? Yeah. Okay, then like who is he like that? Like what's his deal? And then it kind of all sets itself up as well.
Their billion trust.
Yep. Nice. Awesome. Cool. Well, that is our first award. Again, Furiosa, George Miller. We got your award here for you. Mr. Rome, choose the next category.
Let me see.
Shaking it up right now. Let's see what this next category is going to be.
There's 11 categories.
That's right. We just went through one. Got 10 left. 10 awards to give away.
Here you go. Best sequel / prequel of 2024.
Ooh.
You start.
All right. I mean, there was a lot of sequels this year, right? You had Dune Part 2.
Mm-hmm.
You had Wicked, which is kind of like a prequel to The Wizard of Oz.
Kung Fu Panda 4.
Kung Fu Panda 4. You had Sonic.
Godzilla Kong.
There's a lot of different sequels that kind of came out. A couple of nominations that I want to give off in regards to the sequel option. I would obviously give it to, like, again, Deadpool Wolverine. Just kind of expanding a little bit more on MCU, a little bit more about the Wolverine character. But again, that's too easy of a one, so I won't give it that award. Alien Romulus was a great in-between Alien and Aliens. It doesn't involve any of the prior characters, but it expands more of the lore.
Yeah.
And that's kind of one of the reasons why I wanted to choose my actual, not only nominee, but award winner, and that's Wicked.
Oh.
Wicked for me, the reason I'm going to give this award for like the best prequel in this case is because, Omar, it opened up, and I mentioned this in our top 10 video, but it opened up a world that I had no interest really like before this year. Like I was like, not once in my mind did I ever think Wizard of Oz. Like maybe that's something that I should probably explore a little bit more. And now it's this one opened up so much of like, wow, I can't wait to like figure out who is this or who's this? Like where the heck did the wizard come from? Where did he go? Like that, like all this different stuff. There's so many different questions. And so I feel like this prequel gave me the opportunity to know more of these different characters. And again, gets us hyped for part 2, but also again, expands and probably makes you want to watch, like Omar did, The Wizard of Oz, like that. It makes you want to continue the story, figure out more lore of this actual universe. So really enjoyed that. So I'm going to give my award to Wicked.
Nice.
What about you?
So me, I mean, you called out a lot of the sequels.
Yeah.
Or prequels. Is there any I want to... Maybe Beetlejuice could be nominated.
Yeah.
Because I did enjoy it.
Yeah.
I thought it was one of the funnier movies of the year.
Mm-hmm.
But you know what? I'm trying to be different, but I just can't be different for this category.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna have to go with Dune Part 2.
Oh yeah. We're trading number ones.
We're trading number ones. Yeah. What are the odds of that? Yeah.
Showing respect.
What else can you say? It was your number one movie.
Mm-hmm.
It was one of my favorite movies of the year. Now, I didn't like the first Dune at all.
That's right.
I mean, I liked how it looked visually, but there's nothing more that I hate than incomplete stories. Stories I just feel like if they're to be continued. Yeah. Even though Wicked was technically to be continued,
but it feels
it was more complete.
Yeah.
Dune Part 1 didn't feel complete to me.
Mm-hmm.
It felt like half a movie.
Yeah.
So that's why I didn't like it. And so I was going into this movie already with the mindset of I'm not gonna like this movie.
Because I need to remind you that you specifically said this is Omar's quote. He said this movie's not gonna be in my top 10 before we watch Dune Part 2. I forgot to mention that when we did our top 10.
Yeah, I forgot to.
It's like Omar clearly said like this movie's not gonna make it on top 10. It might be good, but it's not gonna make it. And I was like,
yeah,
oh,
I had no faith. I also felt like it was overhyped.
Yeah,
because of the cast and the movie looks great.
Yeah.
But so I thought I was overhyped before watching Part 2.
Yeah.
I was proven wrong. So that's why I have to give it to this award, you know?
Nice.
Like it's not often where you go in wanting to be impressed, and you are impressed.
And you are impressed, yeah.
So that happened. So my award goes to Dune Part 2.
Man. I hope they don't actually ask for this award because I don't have any of these actual physical awards, you know what I'm saying? But if they do.
Oh, you already promised it too many times.
I did. All right. Next category that we have here that we're going to be giving awards for 2024 is, as I open up the little paper here, Mr. Rome, Timeless Character of 2024. Ooh, I'm excited for this one.
Me too.
Who are you choosing, my friend?
I got a few nominations, okay?
Okay. Tell me.
And they're going to go in the order. So I'm going to start with, I have 4 nominations. I'm going to end with the winner.
Okay.
4th, I have Ariana Grande as Galinda.
Nice.
Probably one of the funniest characters of the
year.
3rd, I have Austin Butler as Fade Rotha. Not in the Bike Riders.
Good one.
In Dune.
Yeah.
I thought that's like if you're thinking about timeless characters, that's a character I think that just his look is timeless. You know? Like such a unique looking villain.
Yeah.
And on that same train of thought, my next one, Nicolas Cage as Longlegs.
Yeah.
That's a timeless character to me. Just like a freak, you know?
Yeah.
But I'm going to give my award to probably the character I like the most. I'm going to go with Johnny. Tom Hardy and the Bike Riders.
I love it.
Just super quotable, you know? That's why I liked it.
I'm wondering if we're going to hear quotes in a different category that we might be talking about in a little bit, but...
Yes, we will.
Love it. Mr. Rome, those are great nominees. You bamboozled me on one because one of my nominees is Austin Butler in the Bike Riders as one of Timeless character. He just feels and like emits coolness. Yeah. And I think characters that are cool in cinema, like you can immediately think of different types of characters. Like, you know, again, I'm just going to throw one out there, like Indiana Jones, right? He just looks, and like when he's wearing the hat, when he has the lasso, like it just looks like a cool character. And I feel like, Austin Butler as Benny in Bike Riders is one of those type of characters like that. Like you could see it. Even Johnny wanted to be like Benny like that. He wanted him to be the one that leads the group, and he just has that cool type of a persona. And he wasn't, and he was actually he wanted to be a good guy. You know, he wanted to do what was right for his group. So that was one of the nominees that I had. Other one that I had in regards to my award, I was actually gonna go. So I had a couple ones. Galinda was a good one. I should have thought about like that kind of a character too, like of how it can kind of transcend of like she's so funny like that you're already looking forward to like how funny she's gonna be in the second one. That's actually another good one as well. But my actual award, I'm actually gonna go and take a little bit of a curve. Throw you a little curveball right here.
Sonic.
It is a Sonic movie because my timeless character is Dr. Robotnik.
All right.
To me, I think this is the a little bit of my bias of like how much I enjoyed not only Jim Carrey's performance as this character in the Sonic 3, but being able to watch all 3 movies like in the span of a week. It just shows you how he was able to carry every single movie and how funny he is like that. And it's my style of humor that I really enjoy. Maybe it's not for everybody, but everything that he would do, everything that he would say, the different types of expressions. In Sonic 3, one of the funniest parts that I loved is when he's with his grandpa and he tells him, do you mind going like this? And he tells him to go like this, and then he throat chops him like that. And I was like, what? Or like the dance battle sequence, Omar. Like, who would have, not a dance battle. He's dancing with his grandpa, and then like they're dancing through lasers.
Yeah.
What was so funny, and I forgot to say this like on the podcast when I was talking about it for Sonic 3, who would have thought that you would have had 2 movies that did a kind of a dance sequence where somebody gets picked up. One of them is Argyle. Doesn't work.
Yeah.
They're dancing and there's paint and they're trying to kill a bunch of guys. Doesn't work. And then this one where they're just dodging lasers and they're dancing, but I was laughing the entire time. Everything that like Jim Carrey did for this movie like that is he's the sole reason why I enjoy these Sonic movies. And he literally elevates them. And to me, he's like one of those types of villain characters that I can think back later on. And it's like, this is such a wacky but fun and timeless performance.
Yeah, that's a good one. That is a timeless character. Yeah. Jim Carrey as Dr. Robotnik. Yeah. That's good.
Thinking of somebody else like that, it'd be tough to think of like who else would be like a Dr. Robotnik too. So
it's almost like he's made that character his.
Yeah, his own.
Like you can't really think of another like replacement.
Yeah, exactly. All right, nice. Next category here. What's it gonna be, Mr. Rome?
Let me see. Timeless quote.
Oh, here we go. Here we go.
What's a quote you want to keep on repeating?
Well, Mr. Rome, I'm glad you asked. I got a couple nominees.
All right.
Right? First nominee is, if you feel it, chase it. Now, this one was close, dude. I'm not gonna lie. Twister was another movie that I forgot to mention in our previous video of a movie that I was very hyped and excited for.
Yeah.
It didn't meet my expectations as much. I was hoping that it was good. I wanted it to be great. But Glenn Powell in that one not only has one, he has 2 quotes. He has, if you feel it, chase it. And then the second one he's like, you don't face your fears, you ride them. Like,
that's good. That's good.
That's another, I guess I should have mentioned him as like another potential kind of character, but if the movie was better, it may have stuck more. But those are some quotes. Alien Romulus, there's something in the water. That's just so good like that, you know? Yeah. And I'm pretty sure I'm butchering the accent like that, but it just every time I would hear it in the trailer, and we would see that trailer a couple of times, and every time like that had me like chuckling and laughing. I was like, okay, what's in the water, you know? An alien. Oh,
well, I think we all knew what was in the water.
Yeah, true. But without further ado, my award, timeless quote, Mr. Rome. This one was obvious for me.
Let's see.
Lisan al-Gaib. Lisan al-Gaib. Lisan al-Gaib.
You know what? I forgot to bring that up as my favorite character. Timeless character.
Javier Bardem.
Yeah.
Omar, to me, throughout, and again, this is just from my perspective of listening to other podcasts and other people talking about it, right? But this word, Lisan al-Gaib, it almost adds itself to when you call somebody the chosen one, the one. Now it's like, whenever you say Lisan al-Gaib, you know.
Yeah.
He's the guy like that. Or she's the one. This is the person.
So that could transcend the movie, you know?
Exactly. Because every time like that, you could call that like in sports too, like that, like the Lisan al-Gaib. Oh man, that was good.
LeBron, Lisan al-Gaib.
Exactly. So that's gonna be my timeless quote of 2024.
Nice. That was a good one. I forgot about that actually.
Yeah, dude. Now it took me a while as I was reviewing all the movies. It's like I can't overpass this one. Come on now.
Well, we kind of hinted at it before, but nomination, not the winner.
Yes.
Nomination, Tom Hardy. Wait, what did it say?
John, we gotta get out of here.
No, we don't. Burn it down. He has one of the funniest accents of the year.
Yeah.
Like, anytime he talked, I wanted to memorize everything he said so I could quote it later. Man, but that's what made him so likable. Mm-hmm. But there was a quote that I liked more than that, which is my winner.
Yeah.
What a wonderful day!
Oh man, I'm glad that one came back. You know,
I mean, that was quoted instantly. As soon as we left out the theater, that became like a classic between us. You know?
Yeah, dude. Oh,
so that was obvious. I couldn't pick anything else. That had to be the winner for my favorite quote.
Oh man,
Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes, by the way.
Yes.
Didn't even say the movie.
Proximus, the character that
Proximus,
said it.
Yeah. And the best part is that spit comes out of his mouth when he says it. It just makes it cooler.
It makes it even more realistic. The visual effects that they did like that. They thought about like, look, when somebody says it like this, you're gonna see the spit. You're in the splash zone like that, you know? Oh my goodness. Oh, that was a good one, man. I was really surprised if you're gonna move away from that one. I didn't know if you were gonna move. Away
it
from
was too good not to.
Yeah. All right. Next category that we have that we're moving into is going to be Mr. Rome. Biggest surprise of 2024, aka the Dungeons and Dragons Award. Now, little story about why we added that is because last year in 2023, Mr. Rome and I, we saw the trailer for Dungeons and Dragons so many times. I think we saw it for 6 months. And me and Omar were laughing because we were like, this movie is either going to be terrible or it's going to be good. But we enjoyed the trailer so much that we've seen it. And we're like, let's just watch it. And we were so surprised. That was our biggest surprise of that year of 2023, that it was even in my top 10. That's why we're naming this one the Dungeons and Dragons Award. So, Mr. Rome, kick us off. Biggest surprise of 2024 for you?
You know what? Like, this is another one where I want to be different.
Mm-hmm.
But I can't. Because there was really no other trailer that like made me want to like hate on the movie.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't even have any other nominations.
Yeah.
Because there's only one trailer that I didn't like throughout the year. And that was the winner, Transformers 1.
Mr. Rome, my award was also Transformers 1.
I mean, that trailer, you said it in our last video.
Yeah.
We almost didn't watch the movie because of that trailer.
Yep. What a 180. It's unbelievable how they were able to switch it up. And like you said, you didn't like any of the jokes that they called out in the trailer.
Nothing.
You thought it was not funny, and they were still able to make us laugh when we were watching the movie.
Yeah. The same jokes that came out in the trailer for some reason were funny during the movie. But in the trailer they weren't funny. It was weird, but
yeah.
And that was the biggest surprise.
This is our first crossover. Maybe our only crossover for awards.
Maybe.
So maybe this is the most legit. So if the Transformers team, the animation team, want to collect their award, reach out to us. We'll give you the award.
And if you reach out, also include why the trailer was like that.
Who made the trailer?
Who would you send the trailer footage to?
I love it. All right, Mr. I'm handing it over to the randomizer. So let's see what the next category is going to be.
Randomizer?
Yeah.
Our cup?
Our cup. Next one's going to be about what, Mr. Ohm?
It's going to be Timeless Poster of 2024.
I like this one. This was your idea, Mr. Ohm, which I really liked. This one made me, it was a fun exercise to kind of go through and look at every single poster and see like which one actually calls out. I started even thinking, Omar, in my process, thinking about which one I would actually want to own in that way. I'll start it off. A couple nominees that I wanted to at least kind of throw your way. I really liked The Heretic. Even though that movie was, again, it was like another movie that I enjoyed, but, you know, it was whatever. Didn't even include it in my honorable mentions, but the poster of like Hugh Grant's character reaching out for these two little wooden figures, that looks so cool. Again, I'm really not liking the posters where you have a bunch of different people, so I didn't really nominate those. They all look kind of the same in the standard uniform way. This one looks different. It's unique, and I love that. So that's one of the nominees that I had for poster of the year. My actual winner, though, suspense. Late Night with the Devil.
Ooh.
Something about the poster of him with his like head on fire, like it just works like that. Like, again, being creative, being different, being unique. And after watching the movie, like in my interpretation, you get why he's on fire like that, because he's going to hell because of all the things that he's done for this occult that he's been a part of just to find success. And I'm like, I don't know, something about that cover.
But I also like the body language. Yeah. It's like he's like still being a late night host.
Yes.
But then his head's on fire.
Yes. Oh man, so that's one of my posters, and that's what poster that, again, even though it has things that I don't like, right? Like, demonic possession and stuff like that, things like that. But the poster itself, man, that's something that I would want to like at least have. And it just like when you look at it, you're like, what the heck is this movie about? And like that's I think what a poster should be like that. It should want to have you guessing of like, well, what is this going to be about? Like what's going on, and have you be curious. And so,
and even the title is good too.
Yeah, Late
Night with the Devil.
Yep,
like, dude, that everything about it intrigues you. That's a good one.
Yeah. Mr. Ohm, what about you? What's your poster of 2024?
My logic was more like there's certain album covers that like instantly they give you a feeling like of, oh man, like it's either recognition or like I like when album covers like represent the music good or vice versa.
Yeah.
So I was kind of looking at posters like quickly to see which one would catch my eye like first, because that's like how I do with music. Like if there's like album cover that I like, it'll catch my eye instantly,
and you'll want to listen like that.
Right.
And you're like, oh yeah.
And so a nomination is Wicked.
Oh yeah.
The way the colors are arranged.
Yep.
So you have like the pink in the bottom with Glinda, and then you have the green with Elphaba, and then like their hands are reaching out, almost reminiscent of that portrait of Adam and God.
Yeah, that's right.
And so it has a little bit of like
kind of like a religious piece to it, like
that.
Yeah,
so it looks kind of like artistic. It looks nice arrangement of colors.
Yeah.
So I like that. But my winner and second one we agree on.
No way.
Late Night with the Devil.
Wow.
Yeah. That was my favorite poster of the year.
Oh, I didn't think we were gonna be on sync in two different awards.
And yeah, basically for what you said.
Yeah.
It just looks cool.
Yeah, I love it. And it, like you said, I like what you called out of like how an album cover can kind of give you like a certain mood or remind you of a mood or emotion of like, oh, I remember where I was or when I listened to this like that.
Yeah.
I feel like that's what this movie poster can do like that. When you look at Late Night with the Devil, I'm like, oh, I remember that I didn't want to go watch this, but I'm glad I did,
Yeah, because it was fun.
Yeah. Awesome, man. Dude, nice. I honestly thought we were going to hit on any of them like the same actual answer. So that's awesome.
Nice.
Let me see if I can get the randomizer here. All right. Let's see the next category here. We still have 4 more awards to go, Mr. Ohm. Next award's going to be for Best Movie with the Monkey or Ape. All right. This was the year of the monkey, Mr. Ohm. We had a lot of movies. Godzilla vs. King Kong. We even had added Gladiator. Gladiator had baboons, So a lot of different stuff. But Mr. Ohm, what was your best movie with the monkey in it? Or ape?
There's another one where I wanted to be different. But I just can't. I have to change my answer right now.
Yeah, man. On the fly.
On the fly?
Yeah.
Because it's timeless. Which one did you watch more often?
Yeah.
Godzilla vs. Kong?
Nice.
Not a bad movie.
No. That one could have made it to surprising too. I mean, not because the trailer was bad, but because I think you and I went in with the mindset of like, this isn't going to blow me away.
You know what I just remembered?
What?
I got chills during that movie. I completely forgot about that. It was when they gave Kong the glove.
Yes, the Infinity Gauntlet.
But then like the bad guys came, they sucked them into the into the inner Earth, and then like I think Godzilla and Kong were racing towards them. They turned off the gravity.
That's right.
And Kong and Godzilla were like flying towards them. I got chills during that part. So yeah, actually, it's more surprising than I would have realized.
Yeah,
it was a fun movie. Like it's not gonna go in my top 10, but it's also not the worst.
I love it. That's good. That's a good choice, man. Changing on the fly. What was your original answer that you're gonna give it?
Planet of the Apes.
I think I'm gonna change my answer too. I'm gonna flip mine. Mine. I think I'm gonna give it to Monkey Man. Even though you don't actually see like a real monkey. I think you do. You might see a real monkey there, but when he puts on the mask and he's fighting, something about that just is like so cool like that. And I thought he was gonna every time he was gonna fight somebody, he was gonna put on the mask because that's like how it's set up in the trailer. But I really enjoyed like everything about that specific movie. And again, he's the Monkey Man, like that. He has all of the special abilities like that. This whole kind of mythology like that they were telling of the story about like how this like kind of creature was trying to do good and how he wanted to represent that too. And so like, okay, but that's what I'm gonna change my answer to, because my answer was also Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes, but Wanted to be a little bit more fun.
Let's just make it a little more variety.
Exactly.
I don't think we'll match on the rest of them, though. I hope not.
Let's see what the next one is.
It is timeless shot/frame of 2024. Best looking shot.
This one was tough. I talked about one when we were talking for our top 10 about Nosferatu.
Mm-hmm.
Or actually, not even our top 10. When we did the Nosferatu review, I talked about that shot that I really enjoyed about Thomas in the middle of the road.
Right.
That shot was amazing. And it's recency bias. I really enjoyed that. But like, I know it's like very, very recent, but I really enjoyed that shot. Like something about that, like just everything in Nosferatu kind of worked for me. Like just watching it, like it was so cool, so beautiful to look at. A couple of other nominees that I had in regards to some of my favorite shots. I wanted to call out Deadpool and Wolverine, again, bringing up my little bit of a bias of Marvel and superhero movies, but I don't know, like some shots of like them when Wolverine puts on the mask for the first time and like, you know, like he just does it like his like awesome pose and Deadpool like right next to him, just things like that look really cool. But if I had to choose one, I'm going to go back to my number one movie, Doom Part 2. To me, I'm still so much in love with the shot where, do you remember when Paul is going to ride the sandworm for the first time?
Yep.
The camera follows him where he's on top of a sand, but it's not focusing on him. It's focusing on the distance and seeing, and then he moves to the right and then he moves back to the left to position himself exactly where the sandworm's coming from. That shot looks amazing like that. Just showing his silhouette, not knowing like, okay, is he going to make it like that? But you know that something epic is about to happen of him riding that sandworm. So that shot, like in Dune, of just him getting ready to ride the worm and just waiting for it and positioning himself, that was just amazing for me like that. And again, it's just sand. It's just like white, kind of yellowish sand like that, but they make it look amazing. The cinematography of that movie, breathtaking.
Looked really good.
What about you, Mr. Rome?
I mean, some of the best looking movies of the year: Nosferatu, Dune, Long Legs. I thought looked really good.
Yeah,
but I'm gonna have to give it to Conclave.
Oh,
and I can't even pick one scene. I'm gonna give you a couple scenes that I think are my favorite. One is where it's an aerial shot and they're all holding umbrellas and they're all walking down. And so it's like all you see is umbrellas walking.
Yep.
I like that shot. I like when they're in the auditorium for the first time.
Yep. And
they're kind of spaced out. It looks randomly spaced out, but you could tell it's like they were kind of placed evenly throughout the auditorium.
Yep.
And it's all black, and it's only like a spotlight on the auditorium, and the seats are like bluish, and they have on these bright red.
Yep. There's so much contrast in those shots,
but it looks good. That one, or there's also a scene where the Cardinals are all hanging in the plaza, and it's kind of just like a wide shot of all the Cardinals there. Some are standing, some are sitting down.
Yeah.
It's literally any between those three, but it's definitely one of those in Conclave.
I would throw, if I would like to help in regards to that, I would choose Auditorium. My favorite shot from that movie was when the Cardinals all together, but at the end, Omar, like towards the third act, when they're going to choose the new one, like, and we have the new Pope that nobody knows who he is, and he's right in the middle. Yeah. That shot, again, was amazing. And everybody was positioned like where they were on their sides. You had Stanley Tucci's character who was like more, again, progressive. You had the Italian cardinal that was like, he wants things to go backwards, and then you have
that's good
somebody right in the middle. I was like, that shot was amazing.
Yeah, that's a good one. I didn't even think of that.
Nice, man. All right, next category that we're going to be choosing is going to be, Mr. Rome, timeless costume / set design.
All right.
Kick us off. What do you got?
I mean, there's a bunch.
Yes.
I would give it a do just purely based off creativity.
Yeah.
Because it's like that's the costumes for some of these like races of people. So crazy. But I'm going to go with, and this one might catch you by surprise, I'm going to do a complete unknown.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
And I remember you talking about this. You're like, man, the way Bob Dylan dresses, like he looks so cool, you know? And he did. And also like you also brought up the scene where he just gets to New York and he's walking through New York in the 1960s, and it feels like New York in the 1960s. The cars, like the people,
the noise, the ambiance,
everything just feels so. It feels like you're actually there. Or there's also a scene where like it's the Cuban Missile Crisis.
Yep.
And I forgot the girl's name.
Joan Baez. And
she's like trying to catch a cab. Everybody's trying to leave town. And that scene where she's just kind of walking through New York at night, and it's like she finally gets to the club and she notices Bob Dylan's playing there.
Yeah.
Like that all just feels like an old timey New York, and I appreciate that.
Yeah.
And like the clothes they wear, it looks so good. I don't know if you noticed, because we kind of see the movie like progress through the years.
Mm-hmm.
And like Joan's character, the way she dresses kind of changes as the years go on.
Oh.
And like by like 1965, there's like that's like when the hippie movement is like really becoming mainstream.
Mm-hmm.
And she's not wearing any shoes anymore, and she's wearing like brighter colors and like.
Dude, great call out. I didn't catch that.
Yeah, like I noticed that, and it was like, yeah, that's pretty cool. And something else, like you saw like Timothy Chalamet's like nails were long.
Yep. One of them, right? For the guitar, no?
Yeah. I guess like guitarists sometimes keep their nails long to like pluck the strings. But his nails were actually long in the movie. Yeah. I was like, damn, that's a nice touch. So I put a complete unknown.
Great call on the Joan thing. I didn't picture that when she was performing at the end, like where she didn't have shoes. I was like, oh, dude, great call out. Mr. Rome, some of my nominees, you called one of them out, Dune. I think those suits that they were wearing like that are just awesome. They just look so epic, and things that I can, again, picture people wearing for Halloween costumes in the future as well.
You wanted to, right?
I wanted to, yeah. I mean, Nosferatu was another one. Again, them walking through Germany, walking through like everything they're wearing, top hats, everything just felt like of the times. I was even gonna call out Wicked. Wicked had like things that, again, more because they popped out. Like, and then I'm gonna call out again this library scene. That whole setup was real. Everything was physical, and they danced and they sang through that whole library. It was like that. From a production side, like look amazing like that. And I think, again, it helps a lot when the actors actually can kind of touch and feel things. Mm-hmm. That way they're not just pretending to look at a green screen and like pretending to see this. So, I mean, I wouldn't know. I'm not an actor, but I feel like it would help, So those are some of my nominees. Mr. Rome, my actual award is going to go to a complete unknown as well.
No way.
I can't believe you. And I wanted to play it off like you didn't choose the same answer.
Yeah.
I thought it was going to be my recency bias was like, I just watched this movie and this one, like how it looked, but you said all the things that I was going to say is Timothy Chalamet looks like Bob Dylan, but everything about him, like that, the glasses, I want to wear those glasses. Yeah. He wears a leather jacket. It looks so cool. Like the way he just walks around. And then, like you said, the ambiance, the vibes of New York. I mean, we've been there a couple times and like, I don't know, it just nails the feeling of like what you could picture of like, okay, I've been there now. Yeah. And like I could picture it being like that.
Like 50 years ago.
And like I could feel that when you're watching the movie. So yeah, dude, you hit on it. I can't believe you said the same one. But everything about it like that, like even like Pete Seeger, like how he was like the older guy and he would wear older clothes.
And even like in the clubs and everything, like he always dressed the same.
He almost reminded me of like Mr. Rogers. I was like, oh, okay, like very friendly. Like, yeah, everything about that movie, like I think it made you feel like this is definitely believable. This is definitely something that like they nailed. They obviously had records of Bob Dylan in that time. But I think everything was just appropriate to what you were watching. Yeah. So love it, dude. Can't believe we
I can't believe that either, actually. All right. 2 left.
Let's go.
This one is timeless score/soundtrack.
Mr. Rome, I'll kick us off. The easy answer is Dune, but it's a nominee for me. I wanted to switch it up. Wanted this to be a little bit fun. So Dune is one of my nominees for sure. Hans Zimmer can never go wrong with me.
I mean,
He has all this different types of music that for all these different types of sounds for Batman, for Superman, Wonder Woman, all this different stuff. Inception, Interstellar, like everything just works from what I hear from him. But
it's kind of like the NBA MVP, where like when the players already won it too many times.
Yep.
Like usually people vote for like somebody who hasn't won it.
Exactly.
It's like Hans Zimmer we already know he's like the real MVP.
Exactly. So that's one of my top nominees of ones that I really enjoyed in regards to the score, the soundtrack. My actual winner is Challengers. Oh. Challengers, but this is gonna be more for me, like because you know me, Mr. Rome. I'm very upbeat. I like music that pumps me up. I like music that is high energy. Mm-hmm. It gives me like a lot of different types of vibes like that, but keeps me going. I don't like it when it slows down. Most of the Challengers soundtrack and the score is just beat, like doom, 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 doom. It's like really, really like quick, fast, but it matches what they're doing, especially when they're playing tennis in certain scenes. It just matches with what the actors are doing in that moment, in that scene. So if you watch it, let me know, because to me, that soundtrack, like I could listen to it on Spotify. I've listened to it a couple times, and it's just like high energy type of music like that. But it's the kind of music that I feel like I like. I don't have a gym membership, but let's say I went to the gym. That would be like the soundtrack that I would want to listen to as I was working out. But that's my award winner is the composers of the Challengers music.
Nice.
Mr. Rome, what about you?
Me, I'm also like in the same boat as you. I want to do something different. So like no Dune, no Wicked. The soundtrack that I remember the most is the one from Conclave.
Oh yeah.
Where it was like these violins.
Or violins, cellos, like,
and it'd be like ching, ching,
yeah,
and it would give you it'll get you tense. And we discussed this in the top 10 movies.
Yep.
There's a movie about choosing a new pope. You know, it shouldn't be interesting, but it is. Yep. And I think the music is a big part of why you are interested, because it puts you on edge.
Yeah.
Other than like what we already named, it was been the most memorable soundtrack.
Dude, great call out. And yeah, like you mentioned, the first scene, you just hear like the cello or the violin like going really fast, strumming, and you're following Ralph Fiennes' character like as he's going out and fighting the news that the Pope is dead. I'm like, dude, like what a start to a movie, you know? Like immediately getting you like anxious or something. So nice, man.
So there's only one left.
One left right here. The final award for our first ever Timeless Movie Awards of 2024.
Yeah.
We hope to continue this moving forward as well. Ms. Rome, to wrap it up, final award, Timeless Bromance / Friendship of 2024. So what is the friendship or what is a bromance that we saw in different types of films this year that you can just feel like, yeah, this felt real. Their chemistry just, it made sense, right? We talked about a lot of different types of relationships and friendships throughout our top 10s as well. But Mr. Rome, start us off in regards to your favorite bromance or friendship.
Now, you know, maybe the people at home might not realize that there's like so many bromances this year, but there are a lot.
Yes.
You know, just to name a few, there's Godzilla and Kong. Right?
I'm not gonna lie, I didn't even think about that.
There's
Would you call that a friendship? They're mostly fighting most of the time, and only teaming up when the world needs them. You know,
that could be realistic. You
That's
know,
true.
it's like when you bully your sibling, but you never want to see anybody else bully your sibling.
Oh, good call.
Like they'll fight each other, but they don't want to see anybody else hurt them. You know,
who's a big brother then?
Godzilla, man.
Right?
The more powerful.
Yeah.
There's bike riders. You know, there's Tom Hardy and Austin Butler.
Thought that was gonna be your answer.
It's not though. I'm gonna throw you a curveball.
Oh,
Sonic. I mean, there's Sonic and Tom.
Yeah, that's right.
It's a bromance.
Yeah.
But I'll give you my winner right now.
Tell me.
And it's Venom and Eddie Brock.
I love it.
I think that they had the best chemistry. Yeah, considering that Venom's not even a real person. It's like a CGI character, but the banter between them, like if we're looking through all the movies, they had the best chemistry.
Yep.
Come on, man. Bromance of the year.
Yeah. Dude, and then when we watched it, that was literally the first thing that both you and I agreed on. We were both agreed. Our favorite part about Venom 3, just them talking like that. Them walking the desert. Just like talking, bantering back and forth. It just works. So nice choice, Mr. Rome. You called out a couple of them, right? I thought you were going to choose Benny and Johnny from Bike Riders. Deadpool, Wolverine.
Yep.
They're fighting most of the time, but by the end of it,
they're friends.
They start becoming friends. They even family at some point. You know what I'm saying? You have let me look through some of the options here that I ended up kind of writing down. From Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes, the main character, and like they had like there was like a relationship there. I forgot the names of them, but I should have thought of them before as well. If I had to choose my option for best friendship / bromance in this category, I'm gonna throw you a curveball. Alien Romulus, Rain and Andy.
That's pretty good. Yeah.
Even though they're brother and sister, like I mentioned, and why it's one of my top movies of the year, they made me care about Andy right from the get-go, which made me care about Rain because all she wanted to do was make sure that he was okay. Yes, her idea in the film was eventually to kind of, shut him down, by the time they reached the planet. But by the end of it, I was so happy that both of them survived. I was so happy that yes, it's like they made it. Yeah. Like they had such a strong connection and bond that, again, it really made me worried as I was watching the movie. It's like, no, don't tell me that Andy's going to die. Like, no, don't tell me that Rain is not going to make it. Like, what the heck's going to happen? And when a movie's able to connect me to these two characters that, again, I don't even know, they're not even real, they're fictional. I really enjoyed their whole connection again because they were never mean to each other like that. Yeah. Even when Andy was, he input the disc to, and got programmed differently, like he still was trying to protect Rain as best as he could.
Right.
So that was going to be my favorite friendship of 2024 is Rain and Andy from Alien Romulus.
And that's a good one because The movie itself tells you that what's the android's name, right?
No, Andy.
Andy is like he's an android, and the movie lets you know like they even tell her like that's not your brother, like he's not even a living thing. Mm-hmm. But that just makes their like relationship even stronger.
Exactly.
Because like they use like she does care for him, and that is a brother to her, even if they say he's not or he's not living. And you can even see like the human in Andy.
Yep.
Which is like starts to make you question like, are these androids really void of any like human thought?
Yeah.
Because like it looks like he does care for her, and so yeah, that's a good call out.
That's it, guys. Those are all of our 11 Timeless Movie Awards. I hope you guys had a good time doing that one. Mr. Rome, what did you think about the first ever Timeless Movie Awards?
I think this is fun.
Yeah. Hoping that next year, again, we can kind of come up with some different types of categories. That way, every year, it'll kind of mix it up. Maybe we'll have some that kind of come back here and there.
Like movie with the monkey?
maybe if there's more monkeys that come up, maybe in Superman or something like that. Like so maybe we can include that. But yeah, that's our first ever Timeless Movie Awards for 2024. Mr. Rome, gotta thank you again, man, for coming on and just recording all these different types of podcasts with me. Appreciate you. I can't wait to have you back. Unfortunately, Mr. Rome's not going to come back until 110. So
nice.
How is that nice?
Because man, it's good to give like a little break.
Well, Mr. Rome, I appreciate you, man. Thank you so much for joining me. For all those that listened all the way through, let me know what you thought about the Timeless Movie Awards. Did you like them? Are there other categories that you guys would like us to cover for next year? Let me know down below in the comments. Happy to take your guys' opinion and see what we can kind of build for these Timeless Movie Awards. And if you know anybody in the movie industry that is in some way connected to anybody that won an award today, let me know. I'd be happy to come up with an award and send it over to them as well.
You don't have one though.
But I'm willing to find one and buy one and send it to them as well.
Right.
So thanks so much, everybody. I appreciate you guys. This has been the Timeless Movie Podcast and the first ever Timeless Movie Awards. Make sure to check out any other episodes that are available on all platforms. Make sure to subscribe as well and like the videos and any other kind of content as well. Hope you guys have a great rest of your week, and I'll talk to you guys later.